Hello, everyone, and it's Nicole and Lisa here with the Wall of Weird. So, if you're not watching us live, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button so next time you can be involved in our conversation because we love to have you. All right, so today we are talking about Superman and Lois, Season 2, Episode 8, Into the Abyss. We are late on this broadcast. I know that episode 9 has already aired, and we will get to talking about that soon, and we will act like we haven't seen it yet. So let's get started. So what we have here is Lana doing her campaign, getting ready for her debate, and Kyle is going to help her out. They had a nice little scene here where it almost seemed like there was a little rekindling happening. It felt good. In the beginning of the episode, it was very awkward, and Lana's really not interested in even trying to reconcile at all. And Kyle is very distraught. What do you think, Lisa?
Well, later on when he helps her out with the speech and the preparation, I think he's, it's like back to them being, normal married couple and him being supportive of her. But yeah, in the beginning when he turned up at the doorstep, breakfast time and, getting the kids ready. Yeah, it's like, oh God, Kyle's here.
Yeah, and it's really difficult for the kids too in the situation. I was hoping, that maybe this will be a start, or maybe a rekindle. I am still shipping for Lana and Kyle. So there we go. I want them to be back together. I'd like to see something. I thought that it was really great that he helped her out, and he was willing to take some harsh words from Lana, and he took it really well.
You brought the scandal into the household, It's not her, but she was getting the flack for it. Yeah.
And I think it means something that he didn't try to defend himself when it came to that or put any of it on her. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking full responsibility, which is a huge step that he is trying. Lana, not so much. But, then we had the debate, which was as fake as can be, but of course it went well because it's looking good for Lana.
Yeah, she's looking really strong.
And we will move on to Natalie and Henry. So we finally learn how Natalie got to this earth. Well, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Henry finally getting out of the hospital, although he's having a little bit of trouble with his brain, is not quite all in sorts. And Natalie's still blaming Clark, but rightly pointing out how awkward it is to live with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this when they first moved in. It's a very awkward thing to have your mother's doppelganger married to your mother's doppelganger's killer.
Because when John came round in the hospital, it was like, oh, and I want to spend time with my two best girls. And it's like, that's not our Lois. That's the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. And Clark, being the wonderful guy he is, finds a place for them. Sort of. The place isn't the best place. But, I mean, what kind of finances does the guy have? Because apparently, even though he has superpowers, he hasn't managed to make a decent...
the place comes with a repair shop, so that would be good for, for both of them to be tinkering with their... with the gadgets. Yeah. You wouldn't want to do that in a nice posh living room.
Maybe John Henry should start doing other things in that shop and make a living. Because in reality, he would have to make money.
Cash from?
Like, where do they get
money?
Where's
he paid the rent? For gas?
Food. Basics here. Clothes. Not even talking about, Netflix.
Radio Shack.
Parts for their suit.
All the techs, yeah.
I mean, I guess they could get some money from the government, but it's the limited. Baze is here. Hey, Baze. Glad to see you join us. All right, so I'm glad that we were moving on from that conflict. Natalie is a little harsh again, as always. That seems to be her character.
Yeah,
But
I'm
Henry,
hoping
I
to
really
see
like
more
Henry.
of her rather than her being angry. She's, I know she's got a lot to be angry about, Superman killing her mum, but, at the moment it's just a lot of anger coming out in the character. I hope she develops a bit more.
Yes, Henry has softened quite a bit from when we first saw him. Now, the question is, it's still not really clear how either of them got there. There was some sort of void in the universe. Now, I'm guessing that happened during Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm-hmm.
And she managed to get into that zone where there's nothing happened and then found him, because that's what happened in Crisis, right? There was a zone of nothing.
Yeah, and she went into hibernation as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. They said how long she was there. It was 6 months or...
Yeah, because it wasn't exactly a spaceship where you could live on. It was just an escape pod.
Quite the technology they had, though.
Yeah.
Quite a bit above Superman's Earth, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been nice if they somehow tied it into Crisis to make it a little bit more obvious for the audience of what was going on. But
yeah, they're still keeping the the CW other people out of it at the moment. For now.
Yes, Baze. I was also... So there was something that was said in this episode, because Kyle mentioned that he got an apartment, but he said, don't worry,
I'm doing extra shifts to cover it.
I took extra shifts to cover it. So it sounds like what they're saying is that Kyle's still paying all the bills, because Lana doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how she's so standoffish towards him, considering that he really doesn't have an obligation at this point to pay all of her bills. Certainly some of them, not like they've gone through a divorce or not, but he's being very...
Well, he's still got to support his kids.
You kicked me out of the house and I'm still paying all the household bills.
Yeah, he's still got to support his kids.
Well, that's true, but supporting your kids doesn't mean paying 100% of the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, that's not how it works. Now, I'm not saying that he wouldn't have to pay a pretty big amount of money, but it's not like he's making it completely seamless. But if Lana becomes mayor, I'll pretend I don't know whether that happens. Maybe she'll get an income there.
Yeah, because she couldn't really afford the funding to put an advert in the newspaper, could she? And Lois wasn't going to give her one for free because she's not allowed to.
All right, let's start talking about the boys. So Jonathan once again refuses to say who he got the drugs from to his parents. They do this cute little thing with Lois and Clark with rock, paper, scissors. And I think that he says it in Chinese, but it was cute. And then Clark is really yelling at Jonathan and says, hey, he's going to have to get this job apparently and do
school online
of some kind, which is never great. And then we find out that Jordan uses his super hearing and he kind of getting a clue on who the dealer is. And it all starts to make sense, of course, once you find out that it's cluing into his girlfriend. Oh, that's why he's protecting her.
And they just allow anyone to turn up in the high school. The townie who turns up hassling Candice for money. Yeah. Don't they have security?
Security at high schools isn't really,
not in a small town, yeah.
You can easily sneak into those buildings, but if you got caught inside and you're not supposed to be there, that's a whole nother ball game. Yeah, but that townie looked a little sketchy for sure. Mm-hmm. And then we have this townie going after Jonathan's girlfriend, And who shows up to save them? Jordan. This is really, really where he starts to step into the vigilante role. I know he did a little bit before, but look, he's got the hood up and he is kicking some butt. And he's starting to really get into his powers a lot more now. So that's exciting to see him take on almost this Superboy role, which I thought we were going to see last season, but we are finally seeing it this season. Again, they'll seem to never explain why Jor-El said, "Oh, you're never going to be even a little bit of like your father." You'll just have bursts of something every once in a while. Clearly, that's not true. He seems
we see him super speeding. Yeah.
But his invulnerability is certainly not anywhere near Clark's since him getting
since he gets blooded in. Yeah.
He does get bloodied, and I don't blame Jordan for not wanting to go to that awkward gathering.
Date with Aubrey. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost think that it would. I think like if you're going to do that situation, it almost makes sense to have a fourth person or more of a group. I don't know.
Awkwardness.
Awkward for sure. But yeah, he doesn't show up because he's all bloody. But he doesn't seem to take it out on Jonathan, and Jonathan is happy that he stepped in. So I always love to see the brother bonding. Yes, go for Eternals. That was nice. Yeah, I mean, he could have called her for sure. I agree. I mean, could come up with some sort of lie. Just standing someone up probably isn't the best. Or he could have lied about how he got hurt. Could have just tripped and fallen, banged into a pole.
Yeah.
Or maybe some bully punched him and he didn't see his face, Agreed. That's true. He's certainly not thinking all that smart about how to maintain his relationship, is he?
It's not coming up with it's not coming up with Smallville excuses for not being there.
Clark wasn't very good at that.
No.
No, not at all. I could have made better excuses.
Yeah. Well, at this point, he's not lying. He's just not saying anything, which is probably worse from Sarah's point of view. And I don't think he's used
to keeping a secret like this. Mm-hmm. First go around can be a little rough, right? Because he didn't know about anything until last year. So it's only been a year and a half. Fun times. That's why Clark kept a secret from him for so long, so they wouldn't have the burden of having to lie about it. Mm-hmm. All right, time to get serious. Here we go. Well, this is interesting. So Anderson provides her with the pendant, although actually he doesn't give it to her, does he? He has the pendant and they use it to open this portal, which for some reason has to happen in the cave. We have Chrissy, who they have called to say, "Oh, there's something going on. Let's go into this strange black van and put this suit on. It's all good." And then, "Oh, that's so beautiful. You know what? I'm going to jump into this thing before I even see what happens to anyone." I don't think I would make that choice. Personally, I don't care how odd I'd be by it. I'd probably be like, I think I'm just going to hang out and see what happens to those people.
Yeah, she was there to report it rather than to, transcend.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of mentally why she went for it.
Yeah, she was there to report the story of the century.
Superman had to go and save her from being torn to pieces.
But did you notice that Mitch Anderson, he took the pendant back off of Chrissy, and I think that's how he coped doing the transcending, because he had the other pendant.
Yeah, he had both pendants.
Yeah, whereas the others didn't.
Yes, that's exactly what I noted as well. You apparently needed to have both pendants to go through the portal without being destroyed. Mm-hmm. And apparently Allie didn't know that either, which
it's not supposed to happen this way.
I don't know, or she didn't care about sacrificing her followers, or she didn't know and just used them for experimentation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let the red shirts go first.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's why, I wouldn't have been Chrissy jumping in. There was someone else that he pulled out. I didn't think it was really clear on who it was, although there's certainly speculation that it was Lucy. Because,
I think it was a guy, one of the bodyguards, who would.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And then Clark goes back, gets called back to the house because they said something happened to Lucy. So they said that maybe he survived because of the XK. That's possible, but the pendants were glowing, which is what really gave me the
there's something definitely there
was...
with the pendants. Yeah, there's a power in them.
Although maybe you need both. I don't know. He still had the suit on too, but so did Bizarro. He had that suit on. So Bizarro somehow knew he needed the suit to go through the portal. They're still not really clear about that.
Well, it also looked as though Bizarro juiced up on something before he flew off to the mine in Bizarro World. I'm sure he went like that in some sort of inhaler. If you watch the previous episode again.
Yeah. He definitely still had powers, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Clark goes back to the house, and then we have our next slide here. Lucy. So first we're all upset because we think Lucy's dead. Probably because we have her cell phone. She's not there. Like, oh no, she must have been one of the people that died. And then we find out that she's still alive. And Lois and Clark have a nice little husband-wife moment. And then they believe her when she's like, you guys were right. And I was wrong. And now I see the error in my ways.
I knew she was, it was a ruse all along.
Does a 4-star general really buy this? Or is he just so emotionally connected that she's not listening to his instincts? Because my instincts were going off like crazy. Like, this does not, you just don't change that quickly.
Yeah, let's come back to the family to find out stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wouldn't go all in trusting her after everything that has happened. It takes a little time to earn back trust. I wouldn't just be like, oh, you finally came around. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah. It only takes a few football games and brunch, apparently, and she's back.
Just to see, because she could have almost died. That's what she said. But I didn't buy it. And then I was, of course, proven correct when she drugged her dad.
Don't accept tea from anyone in Smallville.
Don't accept any beverage from anyone you don't know in Smallville. Even if it's a family member. Yes. Yes, Baze, that happened in the next episode. But we will be talking about that. I'm not going to put that one up because it is a little bit of a spoiler for episode 9, which we will hopefully get to soon. We kind of used a 3-week hiatus to take our time. I suppose life has been busy for us. So that's all I got, Lisa. Did I miss anything?
A bit more of Natalie and John's story, because Clark actually forgets to pick them up from the hospital, doesn't he?
He doesn't forget. He's
busy.
Saving. But they knew that he was saving that's when he went off to save the people that were getting destroyed in the portal. He didn't forget. And he could be honest with them. So they know that was the reason why he wasn't there.
Yeah, and I think Clark was pleased, that they're setting up home together, and hopefully the alarm bells won't be going off with Natalie so much when she's around Clark.
Yeah, hopefully things calm down. I mean, Clark's a good guy. Faye says, yes, it's what they wanted to hear, so they believed it. Yeah, that's usually how it works with humans. But Lucy should be locked up. Did she commit any crimes yet, though, Baze? I mean, she's doing things that are... She is corroborating with Allie, I suppose. She's definitely an accomplice, right? And they definitely drugged Chrissy and almost killed her.
They just really knocked Sam out, didn't they? They didn't give him the same drugs, to do the ascension bit.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, though, if Allie's locked up, then it does make sense for Lucy to be a backup.
Mm-hmm. It was her job to make sure that, Allie had ascend.
With Morgan Edge, maybe. She's crazy, so he may have had a shot. Oh, little romance in the cell. I mean, poor Morgan Edge. He's still in solitary confinement. Like I said, that is a cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, it must have gone through them books by now.
I mean, but it's kind of what they do in all these superhero shows. Maybe they have someone go and talk to him at least, that when they give him food and stuff. But that would be funny to have a romance in the cell. I thought that Morgan Edge might go with Lana, because apparently they were together in the other world. So that, since Lana doesn't seem to be wanting to get back to even try to rectify things with her husband, it's always a possibility. We'll see. I'm sure that he will be back in a future episode. They are not done with that character.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive. I mean, any final thoughts?
Roll on the next episodes and stop having breaks.
Do you know how many episodes are in this season?
15, I believe.
15. Okay, yeah. And this is episode 8. Episode 9 aired. So there are 6 more left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's wrap it up and go to our ratings. And Baze can go ahead and give his rating. 7 sisters for 7 misters. Smallville. Okay, Lisa. So what are you going to give this episode?
3.5.
Okay, so 3.5 out of 5 for Lisa. I think I'm going to go with just a 3. I mean, it wasn't really like a standout episode to me.
No, I think the best bit about it was, the scene with Jonathan and Jordan and the town.
Agreed. I really liked. I'm really, like I said, this season I'm really liking Jordan's character more than I have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not liking Jonathan's character as much as I have in the past.
Well, let's hope he redeems himself
goes a 3.5,
well.
so he's with Lisa. And I'm on the fence. I can definitely see where you guys are coming from, but yeah,
I just like episodes where we see powers. Yeah.
Another average episode of Superman and Lois. I mean, at least they're not going below average, right? We haven't given anything less than a 3. Although I don't know, I think we've only hit 4 once. We haven't hit any exceptional episodes either. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm sure Lisa is too. So we will see you next time. Please hit the like and the subscribe and hit that notification button. Because if you do that, then you can join us like Baze did. So yeah, Baze said he was going back and forth between 3 and a 3.5. Yeah, me too. So that's fair.
Mhm.
So we'll see you next time, and thank you for watching.